Welcome back to another installment of how we plan and travel to our apartment in Italy. Like I've said before, we try to have a routine set of things that we do. In other episodes, we've talked about how we start. And the way we start is we book plane tickets once we've had our dates. Then we book a hotel in Rome, because for us, we always arrive later in the afternoon and we like to spend the night in Rome, have dinner, sightsee a little bit, and then take the train the next afternoon to Scalea in Calabria. So right away we get plane ticket, book a hotel, and get a train ticket. That basically gets us all the way to our destination. Pretty much as soon as we find out the dates, we deal with Emma's health certificate if we need to. And that we did, and we have other videos that explain all the details on how to do that and how to plan that. So that's all done. That's the big things. The thing that always can end up catching you is the little things. It's always the little things. There are always a lot of little details that need to be taken care of. There's always some things that fall through the cracks. And so I make a list, and that's what I'm working on today, the last final list. So first is, how do we get to the airport? Well, for us, we live in the San Francisco Bay Area, and we fly out of San Francisco Airport. And for us, we can rent a car one way from our town and leave it at the airport. It's actually cheaper than pretty much any other form of getting to the airport, Uber, taxi, but wherever you live, you're going to have to deal with how do I want to get to the airport? And if you need to, make a reservation. And that's what I did this week. I made a reservation for a car, which we will pick up the morning we're leaving, drive to the airport that afternoon, and then just leave it there. And like I said, it's compared with the other options, it's the most affordable, and it gives us the most flexibility. Then a really big one, and this is something that always falls through the cracks to the last second, and that is make sure I have an updated international driver's license. I get mine at the AAA office. They're good for a year. You'll need your driver's license and a photo, which they can take at the AAA office, and they will do it right then and there. So no need to send off to any place. If you have a AAA office and you're a member of AAA, just go in, they can issue it, and you're good to go. But I don't know how many times we've gotten to almost the last day and it's like, I forgot the driver's license. Or other people we know who get on the plane and say, I think I didn't renew my international driver's license. It's a big one, and it should be at the top of your list. For us, another really important thing is we like to have an Italian phone working when we arrive. Waiting until you can get to a phone store cuts you off from a lot of things. So when we arrive, as soon as we arrive at the airport and we're waiting to go through to pick up our baggage, I will go on my phone, go onto my Trenitalia app, and buy my ticket from the airport to the Rome Central Terminal. I can check in with anybody I need to check in with. If we're late, I can call the hotel. So it's really good to have a phone activated. My first trip, we bought TIM cards. And if you use them regularly, they'll keep going for a while. I've had mine for, a year and a half. And since we were traveling quite a bit, I would use it while we were there and then let it lapse while we were back home. And then right before we left, I would activate the phone. I'd put some money in and it would start up the phone. So right now I've reactivated the phone and it's good through the month of December. So I know that when we get there, I'm covered. And this is something, if you can, do it. There are also ways you can buy phone cards or SIMs in the US. I've never done it. I keep reading posts about people who do that, and if it's probably worth investigating buying a SIM before you leave home. It's pretty difficult and time consuming if you land and need a phone between the time you arrive, let's say in Rome, and get to your destination. I know in Rome, there are really no good places at the airport to buy cards. They're not convenient. I know they're there somewhere, but I haven't seen any in years. We usually take the train to the Rome terminal, and there is a Tim store, which is downstairs in the main train terminal, and you can have them SIM card in your phone and get that activated. But I really, really like landing and being able to turn on a phone and be able to use it. The other reason, not just because I need a phone in Italy, but if you watch our videos about traveling with a phone, your Italian phone then becomes a mobile hotspot. So I can tether my American phone to my Italian phone and call back home if I need to. If I need to let somebody know back in the States that I'm there, or and I've got off the plane and had messages from clients who need something, and I can contact them directly with, using my American phone because I'm tethered to my Italian phone. And it doesn't take any time out of our trip. Like I said, we come in the evening. We want to spend the evening in Rome. We don't want to be running around trying to find a phone store to get a SIM. So that's something else to think about. Either you have one and keep it active, or reactivate it, or buy one before you leave. Okay, we've got phone, driver's license. Just a little thing. If you've got prescriptions, make sure you've filled the prescriptions enough so they will last you through your trip if you need. So that should be on your list if necessary. Check with your airline if there is any paperwork you need. The last few years have been crazy because of COVID. There were a lot of forms you had to fill before you left. There are attestation forms that you need to fill out. For up till now, the forms you have to fill out are for the American side. And I will usually check those within the week before you go. The new one, which will start in 2024, is the EU requires that you fill out a form for them before you can leave. It's not a visa, it's a travel form. I have a video on that, check it out. It tells you what's coming up, what you're going to need to do, and if you're past a certain age, you don't need to pay for it. Otherwise, there's a fee for it. So you need to get that. Another thing, and I've seen this talked about online a lot, is what do you do about euros? How can we get euros before we go? That's a difficult thing. You need a specialized bank that actually has some euros if you want to get some before you leave. But what I found works really well, and it kind of tends to work throughout the trip, is I got a Weiss Card, W-I-S-E, which is, you can get an account on Weiss.com, and it lets you move money to different countries, and it's good for that kind of thing. But what they do is they have the ability to get an ATM card from them that you can use while you're traveling in Europe. And what I find really nice about it is you transfer some dollars from your American account into your Weiss account, and it'll be in your Weiss dollar account. And then you convert those dollars to euros in the Weiss app. Weiss gives you they give you one of the best conversion rates. And then when you're in Italy, it will be like a local bank card. You will not have to you can use your American ATM card, but then it's going to exchange those dollars for euros at their ridiculous exchange rates, and they add service charges. So you can save quite a bit of money by having a Weiss ATM card, putting some dollars in it, converting it right there into euros, and then having it just ready to use as soon as you get to Europe and start, need to use a bank. You can use it pretty much any place you can use an ATM card. Very handy. If you need to, there's a lot of other uses which I won't go into now, but we use it to get money to our property manager to pay some of the bills. We just load up the Weiss card, and I have an account where she has an ATM, and only the money I put on the card she can access, and then I can see where she's spending the money. So it's kind of a good thing to get, but you have to get it before you leave, and you have to activate it before you leave, and that takes a couple of weeks. So you're going to want to think about that. There are other companies who do basically the same thing. I have no experience with them, but you can search around online and compare. So those are the main things. And even now I'm thinking, I think there's another thing that I need to do, because I'm going to remember it at the last minute, but hopefully I will remember it within the next day or two. So hopefully this helps. These are the little things. Like I said, it looks like I've checked off pretty much all of them. So I'm feeling comfortable that we're ready to travel, and I feel more relaxed about it. So that's what we do. Next step will probably be at the airport. See you there. It's 6 hours later, and I just remembered that one more important thing. And it's a very important thing for me, and that is stop the mail. We're gone for about 2 months, and I need to go to the post office and put in a form to have them hold my mail till we get back. I've almost forgotten that a couple times, and today as we were driving doing some errands, it suddenly popped into my head. So told you it would. So the main thing about this is that if you're gone more than 30 days, you cannot have your mail held going online and filling out a form. You have to go to the post office. So if we're traveling for short periods, I can usually just do it online on our account, but gone for over a month, got to go to the post office. So that's probably going tomorrow. Yay. And remember, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. That you're supposed to do a bunch of stuff. I forget. Subscribe, hit the thumbs up, hit the bell, leave a comment. Tell us about your travel experiences. Ciao.